Hey there, maniacs, and welcome back to Makery by Mooney. This Sunday afternoon, I've got good intentions of knocking out Phase 3 of Bow Building 101. We've got this red oak Comanche. We've got the handle shaped. We've got the backing applied. I really want to get the tillering all done, see if we could get a string on it today. I don't know. We'll see. But, in the last video, I outlined a technique I learned from Kramer Ammons. You should check out his channel. I don't know if he originated it, but I don't necessarily remember seeing it anywhere else. But it's basically you're marking an area either that needs to be tilled more or where you do not want it to be tilled. On this limb, you can see I have a mark here and a mark here. That middle third of the limb, I'm not wanting the tiller anymore because actually it's kind of weak. I sort of over-tillered it. Conversely, on this limb, I made this mark kind of lining out the basically the outer third of the limb with the tip. It's the same kind of thing. I kind of way over-tillered that, so I'm needing to work a lot more here and a lot more on the inner third by the handle and the outer third by the tip. But we'll get into it. Which, for any of those of you out there who have made bows, if I'm getting a string on it, means that I would be carving some kind of nocks on it, and that's either a string groove that the string will fit into, or some other kind of device. And I wanted to make knock carving a different segment, but hey, it's been way too long. I wanted to do another Bow 101 like almost a week ago, and just life hasn't allowed it. So maybe we'll do a whole bunch of this. I'm also going to be using what's called hybrid tillering, and that's using more than one tool to tiller. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this knife. I realized this is like the sharpest farrier's rasp I've ever worked with. I need gloves for this. Don't you go nowhere. It was also a pretty penny, like 40 bucks. As long as I can take good care of it, better care than I've taken of them in the past, I think it's worth it. What am I going to do with a big fixed blade knife? I'm going to be using it basically like what they call a card scraper. For any of you who are woodworkers, you know what a card scraper is. It's just like a piece of metal shaped like a card that you use to scrape wood pieces with, something that you're working on, something that you're carving. Basically going to be this kind of a motion. You couldn't see? Sorry. And now we're just going to bend the limb to kind of see how much further we have to go with the tillering. We're seeing how it bends. Okay. And usually I bend it like that quickly for like 20 or 30 times bends. Getting better on that outer third, but we still need to work more on the center third next to the handle. Anyway, we're going to do some work on that other limb, kind of keep it evened out. Tell you what, if we can get it knocked out into an hour, which I think that's about all the attention span you maniacs have, then we'll call it finished and move on to the next project. If not, we'll have to split it up into segments. We'll see. Same thing again, we're going to be training this limb. It's getting there. And incidentally, once both limbs are bending evenly, we'll continue tillering, but we'll abandon the technique of doing one pass here, 2 passes here, and 3 passes here. We'll basically just do one pass all the way down. What's my MO with this thing? How do I know when I'm done using it? I'm kind of using it like a like sandpaper. Once all the tool marks are removed from the farrier's rasp, I move on. Next time we work on this limb, we're going to make one more pass on this inner third, and then I'm going to say it's bending evenly enough. Same with this. I'm going to do a little more work on this inner third, and then we'll go to making only one pass per, carving session, however you want to put that, per limb, before we test the limbs again. This is progressing faster than I thought, y'all. Tillering is definitely a measure twice, cut once kind of thing. You don't want to overdo it, because you can always take more wood off, but you can never put more wood back on. We're there. We're even. So one pass per limb. All right. Be right back. Okay. So one pass all the way down with both tools. said one pass, all I meant is that I'm not doing 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. It's just one long pass all the way down. I will do it more than once, but that's just because that's more economical. It wouldn't make sense to do it one time and then train the limb. What are you guys working on lately? Not just in terms of bows, but in woodworking projects in general. See how close we are. Still got a little ways to go. Leave what you're working on in the comments section below, please. I may work on this one for a little more because it's a little stiffer. There's more wood removed. Stop looking at my butt. First world problems, huh? My vise don't work good. what do you think you guys think about these storms that most of the country got here a couple of days ago? Hope everybody's okay. See how good this limb is bending now. We're making pretty quick work. Gotta visit the little boys' room. Don't you go nowhere. All right, boys and girls, let's get back into it. you're getting close with the tiller, if when you're carving on it, you can like see visible wiggle from the lens. And we've upgraded our editing software. And once we can get a better camera, maybe we can show you a little more kind of POV kind of stuff. Oh, we're getting real close. some extent, this is a process of compensating. You get one limb tillered a little too much, you got to go back and tiller the other limb a little more. Just so you all know, this is the first time I've ever done this on camera, so cut me some slack. I think we're at a point where we can cut in on nocks. Bringing you maniacs for some close-up act. Rasp. Never go anywhere with that one. No. You know, I go to church with that one, and never mind. So let me show you here. That's the back of the bow. Here's the belly of the bow. We want to go at basically a like a 75-degree angle, with the upside of the angle going towards the back of the bow and the downside going towards the belly of the bow. I don't know how better to describe that. I don't know if you all can see that with the crappy resolution, but it's just a nice little groove like that. How are we doing on time? 16 minutes? Flip it over and hit the other side. I don't know. I probably got a pre-made string in there that might hasten the process a little bit. the other side. All right, set it a little more on the tillering. By the way, a big shout out to Steve Bledsoe. I think he was the first person to subscribe, and he was the first person to make a constructive comment. You know what? I've analyzed the over-under of trying to brace this, which just means get a string on it, on this same video. And you know, we've got the tiller more or less dialed in. We've cut the nocks. That's a lot of work in one video, and it'd be kind of demoralizing if I rushed it, tried to brace it, string it, and it broke. So I think on the next video we may do just a little bit more tillering, you know, just kind of in spots, and then get it braced. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and stay maniacal.